when we got here and we had videos, stills, pictures, everything, and we put it all together into one, it was like, wow, this guy has had such an amazing career that to see it all together and have to put it into a show was challenging, but it was a very good challenge to have.
As of now, we've made a trade of Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
In May 1978 is draft day in the National Football League, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the #1 pick, and they trade it to, of all teams, the Houston Oilers. When did you realize you were going to become a Houston Oiler?
My roommate was Alfred Jackson. Well, we had a 2-bedroom apartment. So Alfred was saying, today is the draft, man. What you gonna do? I said, I gotta go over to the speech building. I promised that lady I was coming over there. I got a speech I gotta do. I gotta be in class. He said, Earl, you crazy, man. You going to class? I said, yeah. I said, what are you gonna do? He said, I'm gonna stay here and get drafted. I said, okay. So I went to school to that class, and something happened. I stayed on campus all that day. I really forgotten about the draft. I honestly had. And I come in, and Alfred is saying, man, you got to be the luckiest guy in the world. I said, what are you talking about? He said, you know that man named Bump Phillips, that cowboy on TV? I said, yeah. He said, he looking for you, man. They've been looking for you all day. Where you been, Earl? I said, I've been in school. He said, you're going to play for the Houston Oilers. I'm saying, you're joking, man. He said, yeah, Earl, they looking for you, man. He said, that man wants you to call him. I said, okay, well, wait, I get around to it. And that's how I found out for the Houston Oilers.
It's a real pleasure to have Earl here. It's going to be even more pleasure to coach him, because we're not going to have to put on the plays that we've been playing. We just ask Earl what he likes to run and put that on. It's a whole lot easier that way if he makes his own plays up.
I'd like to say hello, and it's a pleasure being here in Houston.
You get to your first camp, and as a Heisman Trophy winner, I assume there was a good amount of hazing.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that.
I think I got away with it for about the first 4 or 5 days. I just kind of seen them messing with everybody else, and I just kept thinking, when is it going to come my turn? I said, they ain't going to mess with me. It ain't like they say. He said, how about that old rookie over there? Our Heisman Trophy winner. And then Pastor Rennie said, yeah, get on up there, Mr. Campbell. Get on up there, Earl Campbell. Sing. And I had to stand on this chair, but the only thing, I love country music even to this day, and Willie Nelson had came out with Mama Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, and I tried my best.
What did it sound like?
Some of them booed, and then they start throwing cornbread. I'm saying, oh, man.
41, set, hut, hut.
His composure is just that of a 7-year vet, you know.
How does he react to criticism?
Well, I don't know, because I haven't had a chance to criticize him yet, so no, nothing to criticize yet.
Earl, keep one thing in mind. When a quarterback comes back, it's a much easier handoff on our draw on this side, okay?
And you were number 20 in high school and college. Why were you number 34 with the Oilers?
Baum was talking to me, and he said, somebody got number 20, EC, but you want the jersey, we'll get it. That was a guy named Bill Currier, and I think it was between $5,000 and $10,000. So my comeback to Baum was, a jersey don't get you into the end zone. So he said, here. And that's how I got 34. If he would have thrown 44, I probably would have got it. I just knew one thing. I wasn't going to give Bill Currier $5,000 or $10,000 for no jersey.
Flow! Flow! That's right, Dave.
Tell me about your first play in the National Football League.
I believe we was playing the Atlanta Falcons. I couldn't do it in practice. I couldn't run down the straight line and not let my feet when I turn around. My teammates felt like up until that point, so some of the defensive guys told me this, that they wasn't real sure because what had been happening in practice, me falling down, not being able to back up and do the things right, and that I didn't act like I cared, but when they gave me that ball in them games, that particular game, the very first game that it counted, that's when they say they saw. This one guy says, that's when everybody on the team said, man, you see that? Can you believe that guy did that? And I remember that when I got the ball in my hands, I turned to my right, and all I could see was a few guys. So I just figured put an arm out there on a couple of them, and down the sideline I go, and I just think that's how it all happened.
If you proved it that day to your teammates, it would appear that you proved it to the nation. Monday Night Football, it looks week 11. I see you smiling. What do you remember about that game?
I was always worried. I wondered if my mom, my brothers and sisters watching, and I knew that everybody watched Monday Night Football. My fullback, Tim Wilson, I do remember in the huddle, Carl Mike saying, hey, rookie, don't fumble the football, Earl, we just only need a first down. I remember Leon Gray saying, Mark, shut up. Pastor Rennie said, I'm trying to call a play. Tim Wilson is saying, hey, just follow me. Everybody is going to the line of scrimmage. I do remember this, and I'm still bent over in the huddle. I did know it was going to be a pitch play. I did know that Tim Wilson said he was going to try to hook that guy. And he came upfield, and Tim got a piece of him, and I jumped around, and I did not know that run was going to be the one that made the decision whether Earl Campbell should be mentioned with the Jim Browns, the Walter Paytons, that big of a difference.
A lot of people say that if he hadn't run you the ball so many times, you wouldn't have had some of the health problems that you did. What do you think?
Well,